streamers. Look, before we even get started, I know it's been crazy. Like, you're trying to get your new RTX 3000 series card, you're trying to get your PlayStation 5, you're trying to get your Xbox Series X. Streaming is just becoming insanely hard right now with limited quantity of hardware. But that does not mean that you should have a hard time picking which streaming software to use. Now, there are dozens out there. You ready to get started. You got your Twitch overlays set up, you got your camera set up, but how do you actually start streaming? What are the big guys like Nick Merckx, Tim the Tatman, Vicstar, what do they use to get such awesome looking streams? Well, I'm the Benjameister, and that's exactly what you and I are going to figure out today. Let's get started. Okay, now let's be honest. There are so many streaming softwares out there, like so many. Way more than we could ever get through in one video. But what we are going to do is we're going to look at the biggest ones and see why some people use them, why other people don't use them, what I personally use, and what maybe you could use to get started with your stream. But of course, let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to review a different software that wasn't in this video, or perhaps I'm even thinking of doing a video on supplementary softwares that can be used with the main streaming ones today. But overall, let's get started. The first batter in our lineup is OBS, the OG of streaming softwares. So OBS stands for Open Broadcast Software. It's an open source program free to anyone that easily allows you to start capturing video input, capturing desktop or laptop input, and streaming it directly to YouTube, Twitch, or any form of streaming platform that you'd like to use. Now, OBS has got a lot of great pros. It is the original, which means it's been developed on the longest. It is customizable with plugins. If you don't know what plugins are, essentially they're software other people have written that go on top of OBS. Also, because it is the original broadcasting software, there are tons and tons and tons of tutorials on OBS. There are forums on OBS. There are people who are experts in how to use OBS. There are like whole YouTube channels dedicated to making OBS videos. Like there are lots of resources on this. It also has the biggest community. So the oldest streamers tend to use OBS because that was all that was around when they started 10, 12 years ago. Now, so OBS is not perfect. It's open source, which means it's not run by a specific company making money. As a result, there are some bugs. I know that even when I started, I was using a laptop, and there's a weird thing where like you can't do the screen capture on your laptop unless you run it in a certain way. But it's not super intuitive to fix those bugs. They're also just bugs with the system. And finally, OBS is not cloud-based. Many streaming softwares nowadays, like our life nowadays, is based on the cloud. And so since OBS is not cloud-based, it is just that computer. If you buy a new computer, I don't know what that was. If you buy a new computer, you will have to export all of your OBS settings from original one, import them to your new computer. If your computer just dies, that's it, it's lost. Its last major pro is it has something called NDI. NDI is this cool new feature that allows you to stream from your gaming PC to your streaming PC as if it were a capture card. This is cool because capture cards cost minimum of like $100 for a good capture card, and you can get NDI for free. It does take some resources off of your gaming PC, which a capture card does not. But if you're on a budget, you're a new streamer, but maybe you did get your new two PCs set up, you have one's an old laptop you're using for streaming and one's a gaming PC, NDI is a really cool option. Okay, next up on our list is Streamlabs OBS. So we just talked about OBS, which is an open source software. That means it can be used in real products by companies. For example, Streamlabs. Streamlabs took OBS and then made a professional product out of it. This is what huge streamers like Nick Merckx and Pokimane use for their streaming. It's OBS, but specifically built for streamers. What does this mean? It has a really easy to use interface, and it has basic tools like an undo button. OBS does not actually have an undo button. So when you mess something up, you got to redo it. Streamlabs does have an undo button. It has a built-in overlay store and a built-in merch store and donations link. So if you're brand new to streaming, you have no idea what you're doing, then you pretty much just sign up for Streamlabs account, link it to your Twitch account, and you've got a donations button, you've got a merch store, and you've got overlays all built in. Voila, there you go. It is cloud-based too. There are some pros and cons to this. It's cloud-based, which means if you get a new PC, which I did this, my first PC, I used Streamlabs OBS, I logged in, I made my whole scenes infrastructure. I got a new PC, my new streaming PC. I just downloaded Streamlabs OBS, I logged into my account, voila, it was all there. All my overlays, all my settings, already there, which is really nice. Their cloud, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Their cloud is not perfect though. It's a very new system, which does mean there are some bugs to it. I had a really annoying bug where it wouldn't let me change my audio settings. People do have some issues with that. This did eventually cause me to leave using Streamlabs, but still a super awesome software. I've set it up for my brother and that's what he uses for streaming. Great software. It also has built-in chatbot. If you don't know what a chatbot is, I'm going to be making a future video on that, how to use chatbots, what chatbot to use. But chatbots are extremely necessary for streamers. You need to have some sort of automated interaction. This comes built into Streamlabs. As far as their cons go, like I said, the cloud is a bit buggy. It's not perfect. It does cause some big frustrations that sometimes require uninstalling and reinstalling the whole program. The other thing is Streamlabs, because it's a company, does need to make money. They do this through their freemium service. Freemium means it's free to use, and then you pay a premium for extra features. It's free to have a merch store, free to get donations, free to use overlays. However, you must pay a premium to get their premium overlays. You must pay a premium to get the vast majority of items in the merch store. You need premium to use the premium chatbot. And it is kind of in your face. It's very like, oh, here's our chatbot, but please pay for it. Oh, here's our affiliate link, but it has to be joining for Streamlabs Premium. And if you're not ready to pay for premium, it's a bit in your face about it. But as far as a free streaming service goes, and as far as a new streaming service, as far as new streamers go, it's a great option. This next one, guys. You probably know who Nvidia is. If you're a streamer, you likely know what Nvidia is. If you don't, just type in Nvidia into Google, Nvidia. Nvidia knows that people use its GPUs to stream. So they wanted to get in on the action of streaming. They built something called Nvidia Shadowplay. The reason it's in our list is because you're likely a new streamer if you're looking up this video, and Nvidia Shadowplay is super easy to use for new streamers. If you have an Nvidia GPU, you can just click Alt-Z and it brings up your Nvidia dashboard in a video game. There's a button right there called Broadcast. You can set it up directly to directly broadcast to Twitch or YouTube. It's pretty simple. However, there is not the level of customization or usability as, say, an OBS or Streamlabs OBS. So would I recommend this? You know, if you don't have a webcam, say you're just, you're really good at Call of Duty, you're really good at PUBG, you're really good at Valorant, and all you need is to stream for competitions, but you're not really interested in the whole webcam part, maybe Nvidia Shadowplay is for you, because you can just hit Alt-Z, hit broadcast, and boom, keep playing. You don't need a second streaming PC, you don't need another software running. Easy as that. And so that's why we're bringing this up, is like, maybe that is you. If you are someone who's more into the, I want overlays, I want donation alerts, I want subscription alerts, don't use Nvidia Shadowplay. I mean, guys, there are better options out there. Next one's for all of you console players. Yes, I'm talking specifically to you guys. Elgato has gone leaps and bounds to try and make awesome streaming gear for everyone in the streaming community. If you don't know what Elgato is, you should go check out their website. This is not sponsored by them, just saying they make some cool stuff. But Elgato has something, the Elgato Game Capture HD. So if you are a console player, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, iPad, something aside from a PC, and you're using a capture card, it's likely an Elgato capture card. People usually use the capture card to import into OBS or Streamlabs OBS. However, say you're a brand new streamer, you don't really understand how OBS or Streamlabs works, it's a bit complicated for you. You can download, links in the description, not paid link, just trying to be helpful. Link in the description for how to download their Game Capture HD. This has built-in overlays. This has built-in streaming capabilities. This has built-in audio capabilities to modify your audio. It's a cool software. I mean, it's basic. It's not going to give you the same versatility as like a Streamlabs OBS or an OBS. But if you're brand new to this and you just bought your new Elgato capture card, you plug it in, you're ready to get started, this will let you get started. The major drawbacks is it does not work with the 4K Elgato capture devices. So if you are a 2 PC setup type person and you got one of the 4K capture cards, it won't work with that. But again, if you're doing 2 PC setup, you should really be using an OBS or Streamlabs OBS. But say you're running this on your laptop, you have your Xbox going to your capture card, which is going straight to your laptop. This is an option. It's an easy option to get started. You might want to use this like, okay, I want to get streaming today. Use the Elgato software while you get OBS set up, and then start with OBS in a week or two. XSplit. XSplit's a little bit of an older broadcasting software, still used by some of the big ones. I think Linus Tech Tips uses XSplit, not 100% confident on that. And it's very similar to an OBS or Streamlabs. People consider it easy. I've tried using every software in this list. I don't love XSplit. I think it's a little complicated compared to, say, Streamlabs. Some people like it though. The other thing that's nice about XSplit is the company itself, XSplit, came out with the virtual camera software, and this software can be used for streaming to blur your background, green screen your background. It can also be used for Zoom meetings or Facebook meetings or any other type of virtual meeting you have. That's pretty cool. Streamlabs and OBS do both have a virtual camera plugin that you can download, but it's a bit separate. This is a software that's backed by a company, easy to use. But as far as streaming goes, it is like Streamlabs, and that has a freemium. So it costs money to remove watermarks at above 720p. That's a bit of a bummer since, I mean, Streamlabs OBS and regular OBS already let you stream at whatever resolution you want. So, but it does have that. So what do I personally use for my streams? Use OBS, just the regular OBS with Streamlabs overlays. This is possible. You don't have to use StreamElements. You can use Streamlabs. StreamElements is really cool. I've been looking at moving toward them because of the CPU, because it can lighten up the workload on the CPU. I use Streamlabs because for some reason my animated alerts don't work well with StreamElements. I don't know why that is. I'm trying to figure that out. But I do like OBS. OBS's flexibility, its ability to use external plugins, its just large community behind it really drew me toward that. That's all for today. I do have to get back to work. I'm a full-time software engineer in addition to doing these videos, but I had a ton of fun with this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys use for your streaming software, or if you're brand new to this, did this help you? What streaming software are you going to end up choosing? Let me know of any other video ideas. I'm going to be posting another video. We'll have 2 more videos up. One, what streaming gear should you get for Christmas? Maybe you're buying someone a present, maybe you want someone to buy you a present. What's a good option? 2, another sort of review like this and a breakdown of the additional resources and softwares that streamers use, like Voicemeeter Banana and StreamElements and chatbots and all those sorts of things. But I had a great time. Look forward to seeing you on the next one, and thanks again.